honor student, the smart one, the one with the perfect grades, the class genius. I used to define myself entirely based on my academic achievements. My grades became the core of my identity. Studying and getting the grades I wanted came relatively easy to me. I worked hard, like really hard. But I was also naturally gifted. My memory was incredible, and math, it just made sense to me. As I started excelling academically, I began to receive a lot of validation for it, from my teachers, family, and peers alike. It felt good to be known as the smart one, the person everyone turned to for answers, the one teachers could always count on, the one who always took on the extra work in group projects when others slacked off, the one who spent her free time studying or reading. Naturally, I became addicted to that validation. I could not bear the thought of disappointing the people around me. I felt like my worth depended on my success, and I pushed myself to the limit to maintain it. It felt like the end of the world if I got a 9 instead of a 10 on an exam. I remember getting my report card in upper middle school. My GPA was almost perfect, a 9.9. We only won 9 in physics, and the rest were perfect 10s. Everyone was proud of me. My parents, my teachers, my relatives. My school even rewarded my efforts with a stipend. But I wasn't proud. Despite those perfect 10s, all I could focus on was that single 9. Why wasn't I perfect in that too? I kept asking myself. At this point, the pressure was not coming from outside. My parents were not pushing me to get these grades. In fact, they wished I would be kinder on myself, because I was just a teenager who should be focused on enjoying the carefree moments of being young, discovering new hobbies and building friendships. Not stressing over academic perfection. The pressure was coming from within. Being an honor student had become my identity. It was who I saw myself as, nothing more. So I pushed myself harder and harder to achieve perfection in the only thing that I felt good at. When you become so fixated on perfection, you lose perspective. I remember doing terribly on a singing exam in the 7th grade and calling my dad to cry to him, convinced I would never get into high school because of my low music grade. Spoiler alert, music grades didn't even factor into high school admissions. In the end, my weighted GPA in the 9th grade was a 9.94, and there was not a single high school I could not get into. I even received a scholarship to study in Canada. I am not saying this to brag. I'm saying it to make you understand that it's all about perspective. Looking back, it seems so silly that I was losing my mind over one bad grade in the 7th grade, but back then, grades were all I could see. I chose a demanding high school where I could continue to excel, but it turned out to be harder than I had anticipated. I gave it my all, but I fell short of my goals. How could I not when my goals were perfection? My grades were not what I had hoped for, and it was devastating. I had spent most of high school focused entirely on my studies, not on friends, not on my social life, barely even taking care of myself. And yet, my grades still were not perfect. That's what happens when you base your self-worth on academic validation. You lose sight of what's really important. Because trust me, it's not worth it to lose yourself over that. You're so much more than a number on a piece of paper. I was so much more than that. Sometimes, I think back and wish someone had just told me that. But the thing is, they did. My parents told me that all the time. I just did not listen. I needed to realize it on my own. No one could define me except me. I had to figure out for myself that I was more than just school, more than praise from teachers, more than the grades on my report card. After high school, I was completely burned out. I knew I could not go straight into university. I wasn't even sure what I wanted to study. I needed a break. I had to let go. My health had to come first. I decided not to study, not to push myself so hard. I took the exams that were supposed to increase my grades with minimal preparation, and naturally, I did not improve my grades. But I was finally proud of myself, proud that I had put myself first. I took a gap year with no idea what I would do. I began traveling. I went interrailing with my sister. After my exams, I traveled to 11 countries in the span of only a few months. I found a volunteering program in Sardinia, Italy, where I lived for 9 months before moving to Greece for the adventure of a lifetime. These experiences completely changed my perspective and broadened my horizons. School was no longer my top priority. In fact, it was not even in the list of my priorities. I discovered that there is so much more to explore, not only in the world, but also within myself. I started revisiting hobbies I had put on the back burner because of school. I began drawing, reading, dancing, writing, playing football, and most importantly, taking care of myself again. I picked up running, I started getting enough sleep, I practiced yoga and meditation, I listened to self-love podcasts, I read educational books. I gave myself time to relax and recharge, and I stopped pushing myself too far. I focused only on things that would make me feel truly happy and free. I realized there was so much more than just my grades. I am a highly energetic person who puts full effort into the things that I enjoy. I'm a positive person who always tries to see the best in everything. I'm calm and quiet if you don't know me, but if you do, and I feel comfortable with you, I'm incredibly talkative. I could talk your ear off. When I get excited about things, I will talk way too fast, which is more than half of the time. I am my smile when someone tells a stupid joke. I am my laugh when I try to tell an equally stupid joke, but cannot even say it as I'm too busy laughing. I am the movies I watch over and over again because I find comfort in them. I am the songs I dance to and sing at the top of my lungs. I am the beauty I capture with my camera, the books I read, and the wonderful thoughts I have. I am my curiosity about the world's wonders. I am the enthusiasm that exists in me every single morning. I am my ambition to go far and my determination to get things done. I am the places I have traveled to and the people I have met. I am the colourful clothes I love to wear. I am my empathy when I listen to others. I am my resilience when I overcome challenges. I am my adventurous spirit when I explore new places. I am my courage when I step out of my comfort zone. I am the curiosity that drives me to learn new languages. I am the love that I put into handmade gifts. I am the thrill of capturing the perfect photo at just the right moment. I am my memories, the stories that have shaped me into who I am. You are the beauty of the universe in motion. Look around you. All of that beauty around you is within you too. Do you think that the same force that created this entire world designed us to stress and agonize over some number that in the end has no real impact on our lives? In a world this magnificent, do you really think that that's what we're here for? There's so much still to discover. Majestic waterfalls cascading down hidden cliffs, towering mountains that scrape the sky, vast seas filled with life, crystal clear lakes reflecting the heavens, and the thrill of watching whales breach the surface of the ocean. So many places to explore, each with its own wonders waiting to be experienced. Don't think that school is all that there is when the world is this beautiful. You haven't yet seen the wonders that await you. Life gets better, I promise you. I still love learning, so much. But not for school, not for grades. I just do it for myself. Just because you get good grades does not mean you're intelligent. And just because you do not, doesn't mean that you aren't. School only measures a certain type of intelligence, but there's so much more to life. You can be brilliant and still know nothing about the real world. I learned just as much in my gap year as I did in school. Different things, of course. Things you can learn only through experience. I learned about human relationships, solitude, finding my place in this world, creating a routine that suits me, becoming independent, navigating difficult friendships, dealing with stress and anxiety. Things that I could not have learned at school. During my gap year, I also took the initiative to teach myself photography, filmmaking, and video editing entirely through videos on the web. The internet is an incredible resource. You can learn almost anything if you're just willing to dive in. In addition, you can learn history and culture by traveling, not just from a book. Languages can, and should be, learned by talking to locals. You can develop problem-solving skills by navigating unfamiliar places. You can gain independence by managing real-world challenges. You can cultivate empathy by experiencing different ways of life firsthand. There are so many ways to learn outside of school. Your grades don't define your intelligence, and they certainly don't define you. You are filled with potential, with creativity and brilliance in ways that go far beyond any classroom. So do not measure yourself by numbers or letters. Measure yourself by the dreams that you chase, the challenges you overcome, and the impact you make on the world. You're so much more than just a grade, my dear.